I play football, and I'm the only girl on my team. But did you know I'm up to 8 times more likely than my male teammates to tear my ACL? And this isn't unique to football. Across almost every sport, female athletes experience significantly higher ACL tear rates. Today, I'll be breaking down the science behind why. One major reason why females tear their ACLs more often than males comes down to alignment.
Females generally have a wider pelvis compared to males who usually have a much narrower one.
This is because as females go through puberty, their bones shift and widen as part of normal development. So what does this do? Let's take a closer look.
Let's start by looking at the difference between the angle from the hip to the knee in both the female and male. This is also known as the Q angle. In our example, the female's Q angle is larger. In fact, females typically have a Q angle about 3 degrees greater than males.
Now, a 3-degree difference may not seem like a lot, but it completely changes how force travels through the leg.
It pushes the knee inward when we cut or land, and that inward drop is called dynamic knee valgus, and it creates the exact twisting forces the ACL hates.
But that's not all. There's also differences inside of the knee. Okay, so here's where my model comes in. No, it's not the sweatpants. Here it is. Let's check it out. Before I demonstrate my model, let's label the knee. On the top, we have the femur, and on the bottom, we have the tibia. The blue band is the PCL, and the most important part for us is the green band, the ACL. They cross in the middle of the joint. That's why they're called cruciate ligaments. Females often have a slightly narrow space where the ACL sits. And the smaller the space is, the less room the ligament has to move when the knee bends or rotates. So here I am wearing my model. As you can see, the ACL is working with the other ligaments to keep the tibia and femur aligned and stable during movement, including bending and twisting. Now, let's talk about how we move, because this part is huge.
Let's look at how I land from this jump. Notice how much pressure I'm putting on my right quadricep. Many females naturally fire the quads first when landing from a jump instead of the hamstrings and glutes. This puts more load on the ACL and it takes the force directly.
Okay, there's one more major layer, and that's hormones.
Estrogen binds to receptors in the ACL and makes the ligament a little looser and weaker. At certain points in the menstrual cycle, estrogen levels rise, and that makes the ligament even less stiff. The looser the ligament, the more it stretches under force. This creates higher ACL risk during estrogen phases.
So, the higher ACL tear rates in females aren't because we're not training hard enough or not strong enough. It's simply how our bodies are built and how our joints handle force. This matters because these forces act on your knees every time you jump, land, or change direction. Basically every move you make. Understanding this helps you train smarter and give your knees the protection they deserve. And honestly, anything that keeps us off the ACL surgery table is worth knowing.